Hey there, y'all. So for Christmas, my kiddo gave me this fairy oracle deck by Brian Froud and Jessica Macbeth. And I have three tattoos, and the oldest one is older now than I was when I got it, and it is a Brian Froud fairy. So this is my favorite artist. And so I'm really excited. And I realized I've accumulated quite a few oracle decks, and I don't use them very often because I like to do tarot readings because I can be more intuitive with it. While I can be very intuitive with the oracle cards as well, but it feels like so much of the knowledge and the wisdom imbued within the cards shouldn't be, neglected or, or ignored. So I think I want to start doing more oracle card readings and reading into the cards themselves, but also reading what's from the book. So today, before I even really started shuffling, this card flew out. It's the Faun. And I had decided with this deck I wasn't going to do reversals until really getting into it. There are pertinent messages about reversals, and this one flew out reversed. So I kind of want to just go into the imagery first, and let me mark it with a card so I don't lose its place. So upright, it is the fawn, and it looks like a little deer. I wish I could look at it but it's just so much nicer having the camera over there. But there is a star at the nose, and it's connected to a star at the third eye. And then it's connected to a star above the crown, and then it's connected to another star above that. There's so much light about this energy. What is it about the tip of the nose? It's so easy to go to that third eye, so we can start there. About having a clear vision, of course, a vision of yourself, and it feels like a clear vision of what's really in front of you and what can be attained. I am going to read, it's quite a long thing written in the book. It's a gorgeous hardcover book, so again, I don't want to ignore the message, but I do like going into the card itself. And so something about the nose feels like engaging the senses. Myself, I am a clairsentient, clairvoyant. I guess all the clairs get activated at times, but clairaudient, all those. But clairsentience comes in very strongly, but sometimes using your nose as well. I just feel like acknowledging all of the senses, but something about following those senses, following your nose, where the vision takes you and how it does point your eyes forward. And then receiving that higher guidance above. I kind of want to literally say, what does the situation smell like? And none of this quite connects with the message that I'm going to read, but maybe a little bit it does. I just felt like I had to acknowledge that. Engaging the senses. Sometimes I literally, if a situation is bad, I'll literally smell shit or something will smell off. But then also sometimes if there is an energy, a presence around me that wants to be known, suddenly I'll smell like a resinous, like a frankincense, or I'll smell roses, or I'll smell, that the smell will change to let me know that there's a presence around me. I do believe that as a collective, our psychic abilities are being more and more activated, and it does work with the five senses as well as the extrasensory perceptions that go along with it. So something about connecting with your vision and letting you know. So engage with that. If a person or a situation is put in your path, and you're feeling compelled one way or another, I would say definitely engage your senses at this time. Is this leading you in the right direction? And then I also feel like I need to talk about your ability to dominate the frequency when necessary. Um, if somebody is wanting to pull you into an energy uh, that you feel a resistance to, first check, why is there a resistance, and see, does this smell right to me? Is something feeling really off? Like, this feels really like it's taking me out of my personal empowerment. Or sometimes there's a resistance because you're being asked to leave a comfort zone. So sometimes you do need to go forward. And does it smell right, even though it's engaging your fear reaction? Definitely open up your sensitivities at this time. And really, this card is a lot about releasing blocks. And I'll get into that message again here in just a minute. But it really feels like engaging the senses right now and trusting more of what you feel. Don't gaslight yourself in a good way or a bad way. I mean, gaslighting yourself is never really a good thing, probably. But it feels like it's going both ways. So it feels like for some people, it could be that you're receiving a really good idea, or somebody is connecting you with really good news, and there could be a belief that's trying to block you from aligning to going towards something that really could be good for you. But you need to overcome some self-worth stuff, some self-belief stuff, and give yourself a fair chance. And then maybe for others of you, it could be that someone is, or a situation is compelling you to do something out of guilt or fear or shame, and something in you is saying, no, this isn't right for me, no, this isn't right for me. But it means standing up for yourself, advocating for yourself. And I would say very much trust your senses, and don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. And if somebody gets mad at you, better that you stand up for yourself and face it now, and face that anger now, than let yourself get dragged into a situation where later on you're like, gosh, why didn't I find the courage to advocate for myself? All right, so it was the Faun reversed though. So going into that message, and now, and like I said, it was reversed. So I'm going to read the full thing, and then I'll read the reversal. And it's quite lengthy. So thank you for hanging in there. All right, the Faun. Understanding the nature of nature, natural wisdom, natural magic. I really love this card. The merry, irrepressible faun, dancing in the garden, frolicking in the woods, playing in the meadows, sings out, "Come, dance with me." It is he who knows the secrets of nature. He knows where the robin's nestlings are hidden, where the mice lurk, who lives down that rabbit burrow, and where the pixies like to dance. He teaches us to understand, appreciate, and express the part of ourselves that dances in the moonlight with the fairies, sings to the dawn stars with the birds, and hums with the blossoming flowers. This is also the part of us that plants seeds, with a loving pat that says, "Bless you and grow," and provides healing energy for doing just that. No fuss, no bother, just intention and natural human magic. And I kind of want to stop and talk about that. Like, go frolic and play in nature. There really is magic everywhere, and fairies are real, you know. And if you don't believe in fairies, then for you, fairies aren't real. But would life be so bad to give it a chance? Because from my experience, fairies are real, and some of them are playful in a not so fun way, but many of them are playful in such a fun way, and they help to open yourself to aspects of yourself and to a connection with earth, with the magic of the earth. That is so rewarding. All right, natural magic is simple. We are full of it, and the more we are true to our own nature, the more we have access to our own magic. When we are caught up in believing in limitations imposed by ourselves or our culture, we inhibit the flow of energy, which is the melody of ecstasy's song of the cosmos, as it sweeps through us And I swear, when you sing to the trees, when you sing to the forest, when you sing to the river, the music, it envelops you and you can fall in love with your own voice. All right. Let me read that part again. When we are caught up in believing in limitations imposed by ourselves or our culture, we inhibit the flow of energy, which is the melody of ecstasy's song of the cosmos as it sweeps through us. Opening ourselves back up to that song can be a long and complex business once we have closed down in some way. It requires a great deal of thought and self-observation, and perhaps also the help of others in the form of formal therapy or simple friendship. However, the process of opening is made easier and more gentle if we allow Mama Nature and our own natural magic to help. Go to Mama Nature. Spending time in our gardens, our parks, our forests, and open spaces helps us to reconnect. But so does growing herbs and flowers and scented geraniums in pots on our windowsills. So does looking at the stars, observing the state of the sky, and listening to the wind. It helps if we simply observe the natural processes and the changes around us. Mama Nature is always up to something. No natural place is the same for 2 moments in a row. Life is about process, not stasis. We are processes, not things. And I got to say that twice. We are processes, not things. We constantly change, even when we resist, even when we think we are stuck. Come with me, sings the faun, tugging our hand. It certainly is futile to struggle against the flow of the universe, so we might as well dance with him. Stuckness is an illusion. The faun says, dance with me and it will come all right. Oh, and it will all come right. Let me say that again. Dance with me and it will all come right. And do you know, he's right. At least many of the blocks in ourselves and our lives will come right much more quickly if we reconnect with him, opening our hearts to him and Mama Nature. They too are filled with magic, just like us. So in the reading, natural magic is happening. When things flow almost effortlessly, that is a sign that natural magic is at work. Enjoy it. A very important part of natural magic is simply allowing the energy to flow through us. This means both giving and receiving freely. Let the energy flow. Don't push it. Don't try to control it. Just dance with it. Trust it. And remember to keep returning to the source for inspiration and to keep your heart filled with light. All right, we're not done. Let me take a drink. So then it did come out reversed. So in the reverse, this situation and probably the people involved have become bogged down in murky energy and need a breath of wild fresh air blown through them. Organize a picnic or go for walks in the park or the country with any others involved and invite the fairies to come along and help you harmonize the atmosphere. If you can't do that, give the other people a gift of potted plants, preferably with flowers. Come back to your natural self. Be aware of the cycles of the sun and the moon. Be ever-changing. Be aware of the cycles of the sun and moon, the ever-changing flowing balance of Mama Nature. Live in harmony with that. Exercise appropriately. Eat well. Clear the toxins of civilized living from your system. Go out and speak to Lady Moon as often as you can and smile back at Father Sun. So go find your nature. All right, that's all I have for this oracle reading. And if you would like a reading from me, check me out. All right, peace and love until next time.